To those of you who do not live in central New York, I thought I'd just show you what my typical commute to work is. I live approximately 30 miles up an interstate highway to my office. It's a really nice commute. It takes me about 30 minutes to get my head together, think about the day's tasks, and get a plan together for the day. And at the end of the day, I get to come home, and by the time I'm home, I've left work behind. So I don't have any stress when I get home to see the boys and plan my day on what we're going to do if there's any sunlight or decent weather to get out of the house. But this is just a quick video of weather and driving conditions to my office, which I've never not made it. There's never been a time when I couldn't make it, but something of interest for you people who don't live around Oswego County in central New York. Here goes. Usually I start my commute from my end of the world, my little town of Manlius, and the road is clear and I see clouds on the horizon. So I know that there's a possibility that those are coming off the lake, but not always are they. But as I get to the 1/3 mark at the Interstate 81, 481 intersection, I can see the clouds are a little more rolly, and they kind of are in bands. You can't really see that on the camera, but you can see that they're in bands, and that means they're coming off Lake Ontario, and it may be a little lake effect snowstorm I'm headed into. As I go around the bend crossing 81, on the left of me is a Cicero swamp, a very large swamp, and it keeps the cold in. So I see snow on the ground, I see the clouds are down. I now know I'm going into the snowstorm, what I call the dragon's breath, up to Oswego. Pretty soon it begins to get a little accumulation. You see it's thicker in the middle. It still hasn't really gotten much on the roads, and then it's getting a little thicker on the sides, and the roads are beginning to show some coverage of snow. And this is about another third point. We're 2/3, and there goes a snowplow on the other side. It never seems to be on my side unless I'm late. I think I've got to be about 20 minutes late, and then it's on my side and I can follow the snow plow. And the one thing you learn about driving up here is you don't use your wipers and your defrost, because all they do is freeze up. And a little ways farther you find that the snow is getting a little deeper and slushier. If you get off the path, there's tire tracks through the snow that it pulls your car quite a serious amount to one side. So you got to keep in the tracks, and you got to keep going at a reasonable speed. You don't want to be speeding, and you don't want to be going too slow. Too slow, you don't have push through the snow, and too fast, the snow grabs you and pulls you places. But you just continue on your way, because it's not so bad, and you can see highway still. So there's always a chance that this is a very narrow band that's only covering a few miles of the commute up. Here we are going past the Phoenix exit, which is usually the turnaround point. if anything past here is only worse. So I enjoy this ride right here at the most, because you never know what you're going to get beyond here. Now, you might not be able to notice this quite so much on YouTube, but right here the snowbanks are about 2.5 feet high, and they're only growing. Obviously the plow has been through here a couple of times, and it has pushed the snow off the road, which is great. They do that. It's, the greatest place to live, because they know what to do with snow. They just push it out of the way, and people continue on. But the snowbanks are growing at an incredible rate, considering that last night there was no snow at all. Now, one of the amazing things about this road is that it's a superhighway corridor up to one of the state university colleges, and so you meet cars going quite slow because they're college kids that are driving mom and dad's car, and they want to be careful. So you're going slow, and there's always a couple of people that want to just go zooming by you at 65 or 70, which is the normal speed limit. And when people do that, it kind of embravens you to do the same thing, which is really, really stupid because over on the left-hand lane, it doesn't have the little tire tracks down to pavement. So we get up some steam here and decide that we're going to pass the student who is suddenly realizes how slow they're going and speeds up. So now we have to go really fast to pass them, but luckily we're better drivers than they are, and we pass them and then we pull over in front of them, which they don't really like because we blow all the snow onto their windshield. But that's life on the fast lane. Going up to us we go, New York. Now as we hit the very last mile or two getting into Fulton, New York, where my office is, suddenly it gets really bad because we've come down into the plain before the lake. We've been traveling kind of on some rolly hills, and suddenly it gets really bad. And this is driving into Fulton. You've got about a couple hundred feet of visibility, and the snow's just coming down at an incredible rate. There are probably plows around, but you just can't see them, so you gotta go slow and careful. If you don't, you end up like this guy who tried to pass or something and ended up in the ditch. And you see a lot of these cars. You pass a lot of these cars and you feel bad because you'd like to stop and help, but there's really nothing you can do to help them. They need to get a wrecker and a cop car and a snow plow to get them out of the ditch. But it's just a matter of speed and control. That's all you have to do. So that's the end of the road. Just getting through town into the factory, and we're clear. And there's places to take refuge if there's a big wreck like McDonald's. But I hope you enjoyed watching this little snowstorm. Since the snow season is over, I'm hoping these will not come for at least 5 or 6 months anyhow. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll have more nice, clean summer escapes soon. Bye-bye, folks.